Deadpool. So, in the film Deadpool, Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds, hunts the man who gave him mutant abilities and a scarred physical appearance, becoming the anti hero Deadpool. So, I was going through like the list of like all the Marvel superhero, like all the Marvel like movies, and I thought the next film on the list was Logan, but then I was like, wait, hold up. What about Deadpool? Like 2016, I was thinking to myself, I just reviewed X-Men Apocalypse. Is there any like mutant X-Men movie that came out in 2016? And I was like, oh, I forgot about Deadpool. So, so here we are, Deadpool. Now, this isn't the first time Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool. We don't want to think about it, but Ryan Reynolds did play the same character, Deadpool, in X-Men Origins Wolverine, otherwise known as the worst X-Men movie in the whole franchise. So yeah. So, people criticize, a lot of people, including myself, hated and criticized like the portrayal and the butchered, how Fox butchered and ruined the character of Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. But Ryan Reynolds, but even though they did an awful job portraying Deadpool, we all knew that Ryan Reynolds will always be and only be Deadpool. No one, it's like one of those instances where you can't see any other actor as that character. This is it. Robert Downey Jr. is Deadpool. Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds was born to Ryan Reynolds was born, to play Deadpool. It's very difficult to imagine anyone else playing this character. It really is. Ryan Reynolds has that charisma, he has the humor, the comedy, he has all of it. The personality of Deadpool. So yeah. And then there was this leaked footage that came out, like a leaked test footage came out. It was like completely like CGI and all that. And then it was officially happening. And then it officially happened. The trailer came out and it looked hilarious. I remember back then. I remember I was in high school when I was watching the trailer for the first Deadpool movie, for this movie, and I was like, this movie is going to be glorious. And I saw the movie with just a friend, just one friend of mine. Unfortunately, we were underage. We were 16 years old. This movie is rated R. So my friend's father came with us. He chaperoned us. But yeah, we all had a great time watching this film. You know, I loved why, when it comes to Deadpool, this movie became the highest grossing 20th Century Fox X-Men film of the year of 2016, and also the highest grossing R-rated film at that time. And that's like, and that's saying something. Ryan Reynolds' performance as Deadpool, like I said earlier, he was born to play this character. He is Deadpool. And I love the style and the faithfulness that it has to the comic books, especially the opening. Holy shit. The opening credits. The opening credits for this movie set up what the movie, like the tone of the movie is going to be like. And I remember, everyone in the audience, around me, we were like dying laughing when we were watching this movie. It's like, including, like, like, what is it? What did it say? A British villain, or some guy, directed by some guy and a British villain. It was so perfect and amazing, and it fits the tone and the style of the film. Although I will say this, the plot, I do love the action sequences. I mean, of course, it's like, even though Deadpool is an anti-hero, um, even though Deadpool the character is an anti-hero, the movie itself is classified, is categorized as a superhero film. Um, but yeah, I love the action sequences and all that. Yeah, yada yada yada. Who cares? It's a superhero movie. Of course, there's action in it, and they were really well executed. And no pun intended, if there is a pun. But I will say this: the plot of the movie, it's not perfect. This movie is not perfect. I feel like the villain, and we'll get into him, was not really well executed. And also the plot was very simple and basic. Like you've seen it, like you're watching it and it feels familiar, like you've seen it before. It's very formulaic. Um, but yeah, but anyway, this movie received many awards and nominations, including two Critics' Choice Awards and two Golden Globe nominations. So yeah, there you have it. And now let's get into the actual movie itself. This movie is excellent. It has funny humor along with, breaking the fourth walls, just like, Deadpool, Deadpool as he does in the comics. And the movie, I love how the movie doesn't take itself, too seriously. It's aware of, the dumb premise and the generic villains, and know it's only meant to be a comedic entertainment. There are cliches and tropes that work in the movies, and its intent, and at first, it becomes, you feel like it's, it feels intentional. um I just, I could go on and on, but yeah, like, I love how the movie mocks, Ryan Reynolds' previous superhero performances, like his first appearance as Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine, in which his mouth was shown, which the character's mouth was sewn shut. You don't do that. You never do that to Deadpool. Deadpool is the merc with the mouth. That's his nickname. He his mouth. Deadpool's greatest weapon is not his, healing factor. It's not his, badass mercenary skills. It's his mouth. That's his greatest weapon. But also, yeah, that also horrible, like, Green Lantern movie. I did like how Colossus looked. He did look like I remember in the X-Men movie, in the original, like, X-Men movies, like, he's just some guy, but in this movie he looks like Colossus from the comics. So yeah. So yeah. I do love Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which, by the way, is a fucking badass name, as Deadpool said in the movie. Um, but yeah, their interactions with Deadpool is just so, it's gold. It's pure gold comedy. The music is, and speaking of, comedy, the music is pretty. The music, well, when I say the music, I mean like the soundtrack, like the songs, not the score. But yeah, I love the battle between Deadpool and the main villain Ajax, played by Skrein. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. I do remember. um, Deadpool cutting his hand off, and then Colossus holds the cuff, and it's the middle finger, which that was hilarious. This is the first successful rated R superhero movie outside of, if we're not including the Blade movies with Wesley Snipes. It paves the way for Logan, a more serious and acclaimed R-rated superhero movie. So there's that. I do love how the teaser, like the post-credit scene. This movie does have a post-credit scene, and it's hilarious. It's like an homage, like the style really reminds all of us of if for those who've seen it, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I myself haven't seen it, but I have seen that clip in particular because it's like everywhere. The marketing campaign is just perfect. It's brilliant. It's genius. So yeah, I will say that. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to negatives and flaws and any issues I have with the film, I mean, his love interest, Vanessa, I do know she's copycat in the comics and she has like a superpower. Now, I don't know. Now, in these first two, Deadpool movies, she doesn't have any power. She's just, his girlfriend, his love interest, his girlfriend. But, maybe she will develop a superpower or something in the third Deadpool movie, which is going to be taking place in the MCU, and it will be rated R. So I don't know the plot of the I don't know the plot for Deadpool 3, but it's going to be crazy and amazing and hilarious. I can already imagine that. So yeah. And I guess, yeah, like, the main villain of the movie is Ajax. He can't feel any pain. He's just a very one-note villain. Like, you don't care about him. You know his powers. You understand what he can do, and that's it. There's no like origin. There's no background story building up with him. He's just there to torture and kill Deadpool. But we know how the movie ends. But anyway, if you've seen Deadpool, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. I'm so glad that Fox they finally learned from their mistake, their one mistake, that irredeemable, god-awful Deadpool. That thing is not Deadpool. That thing looks like Baraka from Mortal Kombat if his mouth was sewn shut. Like, the fucking blades coming out of his fucking, like, fists. It's an image I can't unsee. But I'm glad Fox learned from the mistakes, and I forgive them for that. And, yeah. Now, this movie, this is Deadpool. How he was meant to be. How he's supposed to be. And I love it. I fucking love this movie. Definitely check it out. So if you've seen Deadpool, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you lovely people really soon.